We've been following the story of Trinity Western University, which has been engaged in a legal battle to have a law school. And we just had a ruling last week from British Columbia, and actually they upheld Trinity Western's right to open that law school, and the whole controversy is surrounding a community covenant, which I had to sign. I went to a Christian university.
Yeah, that's the question I had. Let's kind of explain why the appeal in the first place, why the, all the...
Yeah, many times when you go to a Christian university, they'll have you sign, a covenant that says you're going to follow the Bible, you're going to live in a certain way, you're not going to bring shame to the university. And so I signed it, but the controversy is that they say you can only have sexual relations in marriage with the opposite sex.
Right.
So there was some concern that they were going to be biased against people from the LGBTQ community, and so that's where the controversy was surrounding. But the Supreme Court of British Columbia found that the right to freedom of religion of Trinity Western was more important, and that the impact on people from that community would be very tiny because they just wouldn't go to that school, but people who would have gone to other law schools would go to Trinity Western, which would open up many more spaces, which is what we need in Canada. We don't have enough spaces. So it is a victory, but probably because they lost here in Ontario, it will be going to the Supreme Court, and we'll keep you updated on that story. Big freedom of religion story. Whatever you think about community covenants and whether you should sign it or not, it's a case that will impact freedom of religion of all religions, not just Christianity, for years to come. So a lot of people are really watching this story.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's important for us to have these, these agreements in place. Actually, just over the weekend at our church, we had our membership renewal. And we would sign, maybe not something exactly like that, but something similar to that. And I think it protects the institution, it protects the church that you're going to make sure people of a like-minded nature are going to be there together. It's not discriminatory in any way. I don't think it is that way at all. I think it just, it protects those who are involved in that community. So I think, I'm glad to hear that was the ruling. And let's see what happens when it goes to the next level.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, another story we've been following is two Yazidi women. If you know about the Yazidis, they've been persecuted in Iraq. They've been really singled out for genocide.
Again, who are these women? Because we hear that term all the time, but who are these women?
Yeah, well, as you would probably know even better than me being an expert in the Middle East, but the Yazidi is a sect of that combines Zoroastrianism and Islam.
A little bit of everything.
It's considered to be a cult by Islam, and that's kind of why they've been especially singled out. And the women have been trafficked, they've been abducted, they've been raped. It's just been a horrific thing. I mean, Christians have been targeted as well, but my heart has gone out to the Yazidi women in particular because of the sex trafficking of them and just the horrendous things that happen to these kids. And so two women actually that escaped enslavement by ISIS were just recognized by the European Union. They gave them a prize for human rights because these women not only escaped, but now they speak out on behalf of other women who have been going through this.
Some of them here,
One woman, Nadia Murad Bassi, she was abducted and raped for 3 months before she was able to escape. Lamia Aja Bashir, she tried to flee 4 times before she finally escaped in March, and as she was running away, they hit a landmine. Everybody with her was killed. She was scarred and she lost sight in her right eye, but she says it's worth it because she survived ISIS, and she's got that fighting spirit. And she was actually here in the House of Commons gallery last month when the government voted to acknowledge the genocide against the Yazidi people. So she was there watching, which I think was so meaningful, that Canada is only the second country to do that, to say that this is genocide. So I'm kind of proud of Canada.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing what people, have to go through sometimes. We live here in this great part of the world, Cheryl, where we can openly on national television proclaim the gospel and talk about our faith and things that we believe in, but so many parts of the world, it's not just limited, it's actually illegal, and you get punished, you get killed, you get tortured. I mean, I saw this in Israel, people who were coming from Sudan who were trying to make their way through Egypt to get to Israel because Israel is also a democracy and believes in freedom of religion. And it's absolutely amazing to me how blessed we are to be in this part of the world, just to have this freedom to be able to talk about the things that we believe in. I hope that we never take that.
And I hope Canada keeps standing up for victims of, abuse, trafficking, all of that. That vote in the House of Commons was unanimous. It actually superseded politics, which, in these days you don't see that very often. As we see right now with the U.S. election, politics can be really heated and really angry. But this rose above that. And I'm just proud of our MPs for doing that and for acknowledging that.
Yeah, amen.